There they both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately like two baby crocodiles. It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you are. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about...
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come. I'm going away for a long...
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
Murder was the case, don't go. I'll die before I squeal, pig. I come from the woods, good Davidu.
Don't be traumatizing it. Fuck does Kuno care?
What's going on? Like you don't have enough on your plate. You feel a sudden surge of self-pity coming on.
Fuck no!
Kuno, they've almost...
Ease off, see? Kuno always takes the bullet over the hammer.
He'd rather die than work with the justice system.
Kuno doesn't...
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them, you seem to be a cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting...
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth. More... Too late. It's impossible until a pool of vomit lies under your feet. The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it...
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fridge store.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check.
Active decay. It's okay.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow!
What do you see? Interesting. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer? No, it's not. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the...
He doesn't seem to hear you. Looking south.
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? Mm-hmm. A week, maybe? 7 days would feed...
It is not impossible.
As I said, I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Hevashal. 7 days below...
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction.
Indeed. They all stood... Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over, hoisted him up, watched him hang. This is easy. The lieutenant's eyes narrow. He's...
Either way. What else?
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message, written in the language of burnt rubber. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling in rags. This is point and then accelerated. The driver proceeded to back out of before heading south. Must have been in a hurry.
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage-friendly city. I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen in Martinez. With the jam,
you could follow the track south. There seems to be a canal. An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. An off-key melody.
Kuno, please stop calling him.
She thinks you're the gremlin child. What would he say to this?
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I...
A single beep indicates that the line... You ring the door. What an ominous name for a hair salon. All you hear is static. You ring the doorbell, but you wait for a minute or two. Looks like someone has melted. Almost hear them breathe.
Yes, hello. This is Tracy Penny.
She sounds almost antique. Wait, but what happened to Slipstream SCA? There's no Tricentennial Electrics on the list.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanged.
It's you.
She must be mistaking you for someone else. Who cares that you don't remember her? Just go along with it.
Michelle, just... Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone ever since I came...
A spot of static overrides.
It's so nice.
She sounds like she's about to cry. She doesn't answer. Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay. Another seagull passes.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this thing.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read. Silence. No one's home at Fortress. Silence. No one answers. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want... This button looks...
This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Silence. No one answers your call. No. Hold on. The last thing you need in your... Before you stand, vapor emanates from the light. This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a scent of leatherwork and heavy fuel oil. The frequency tableau lights up, and a green button labeled Prime, the soft purr of electrical kittens.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague.
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably done it 1,000 times.
This is Officer Alice Demetri.
Under the green prime line, a yellow saved button catches your eye. You wonder what the lieutenant's defense.
Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5.
The man uses relay code. You've got this.
10-4, message received. 10-18, state your message, sir. 10-9, 10-4, message received.
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to
He what? He lost his badge? Who lost his badge? Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not defend yourself. Immediately, they're laughing at you.
I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here. Fuck me! Mac, come here! You've got...
What's going on?
Super Cop here.
He lost his badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over. New heights even for cat...
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson wants to know...
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you? No.
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
Even before you can get the words.
He says he didn't lose his gun. Ask him to describe it. His gun... Satellite Officer McLean requests a description of your weapon. Over.
It's a single-shot kill A9. An armistice, to be precise.
Says it's a kill armistice? What, is he a... Dear God, he lost his gun. This isn't true.
Mac can face a giant of coal.
Oh, I can't. Fuck. He lost...
I'm not going to.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson here is wondering if you are still in possession of your genitalia. Over. That's a negative.
What's he saying?
He said he sodomized your mother.
The prick ate Mama's vanilla waffles at the captain's birthday party. Some nerve he's got.
Sure her vanilla waffles...
Shut up, Chester. This isn't funny. Tell him to apologize.
Sergeant Orson requests that you apologize for the claims that you made about his mother. Over. Mac, he says you should...
Who?
Satellite Officer V. I'm afraid he...
Firewater? He's lost it. Fuck it.
Satellite Officer V. Then for affirmative, officer in...
Oh, God,
Officer, do you need further assistance? Over. Okay.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone you lost your memory. Be...
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question. That's a negative, sir. I got a 10-12. Visitors present here. Over. 10-9, repeat message. I didn't get that, sir. Over. Sir, I will not have you talk to me in this manner.
What? What?
He seems
Indulge in his drunken antics. What? What is...
He wants to verify the...
But of course, it says Dick Mullen. Tell him to stop.
What do you need, sir? Over. 10... excuse me, sir? Over. Come again, sir. I didn't get that. 10-9. Over. Understood, sir. Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
A metallic drawer slides out.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools, like some men are.
The handles are long and sleek. You can do good work. The pry bar, useful for opening, it's robust. What lets you see the pull-out toolbox slides back into it. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch. As you tap on the gauge,
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start.
Translation. We're not going anywhere, right?
Yes? What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a report, but during that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word Okay then. Was there any good?
The worn and beaten.
We can sit on benches after.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time.
Life doesn't need to be as... I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish.
Have you no shame? Whining about...
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, all right?
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see...
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball. That's the spirit. Don't even waste your breath asking about the game. They wouldn't know anyway. They're way past their prime. You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No, the cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it, probably a sponsored ball. Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating, until a chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firm, an embodiment of pure motion, a fine-tuned locomotor running at maximum.
Merde! Bordel de merde!
A whorehouse of shit? It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters.
What the hell is your problem? I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful. You vandalized our game, son. We can't play pétanque with 5 bull. Well, it damn well isn't. It's pétanque.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You owe us a goddamn bull. Good. Mistakes are...
Yes. Why did you come here? It's unlikely they know. You never know. He might know something. This is a good vantage point.
Yes. The terrain here, I do. Fire from heavy artillery. Why what? Because that's what happens when communists hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality. Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist...
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first. Yes, The military coordinated amphibious Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is Blood Ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Damn right, son. They lit the fire of hell on the city before the rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union so...
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the Coalition, Revachol...
You don't even begin to truly understand the players of the table, let alone the specific...
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
I'm sorry it had to be them. After 8 years, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume instead. All that is just, holy. But this is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with. Damn Frissel. He was a king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown.
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king.
A true king in both blood.
Some manner of self-deceit is present.
The suzerain is the king. As everyone... It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
All you observe.
This is the Union.
Don't you mean?
You do not speak his...
There's something you miss.
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have in Martinez. The Union is the cop is a pejorative.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties. But you must agree that nature, in her infinite wisdom, has made men more fit to perform certain, more challenging tasks. No reason to even feel bad about that. It's just the way of the... We are still waiting for a replacement for the...
I have really... How done?
Yes, that's what...
Honey, hello, officer. How... Let me think. I heard someone... No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really...
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the gauche caviar in the Union. Someone must...
He means caviar socialists.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose...
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here.
I'm not even anyone...
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't...
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before... Evrard Claire.
What do you know about...
The old soldier. There he stands.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card. But Evrard keeps me on...
So that's what it was before. He doesn't know anything.
Of course he's... I hate this socialist rabble. But even siding with them is...
Writing work mostly. Oh, nothing official.
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly...
No, thank you. I'm sorry, officer. But
the only one...
The sandwich looks like a culinary one, in addition to the obvious slice of ham.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. You must have other business then?
A man so principled about his sandwich calls for... This right here is political.
What?
I am not going to...
Huh? I really don't understand how my sandwich could... I would rather just...
Tell this lost comrade what the people's sandwich would be like. Distill the essence of the working man.
That sounds horrible. You really don't know your way around the kitchen, officer. Food and politics don't mix.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards.
Books? Postcards? Easy. Even a kid would know all of this. Don't be a fool. As an expert, It's your duty to tell what you know to everyone.
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now. Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go... Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case. But I don't see much...
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games. Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there.
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about...
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir? Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that. And the work of a policeman. And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. Head, yes.
No, you're not head, child. Heads.
Isn't that very dangerous? Unlike you, sir. He's just a fictional character. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books. It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost. Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end. These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad. Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday. Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end. I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum. I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though. Yes, she knows books, definitely.
What was that? An idea for an unfinished...
Maybe some about other books? Oh, Kings and... I think that's why people read...
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous. Why would they do that, sir? That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden.
What do you mean, sir?
She looks around anxiously. The lieutenant stands by. She brings out her reddened...
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well...
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't. It was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Because you usually aren't. I sure hope you are.
There she stands. There's something you're missing. You have absolutely no idea. Familiar. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just, yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Baye. Yeah, you know. Beneath it is just heartbreak, a pulmonary tract infection, atherosclerotic disease. This is the beginning of your legend. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around.
Welcome to crime. Be welcome.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types and endless variety of source books. There's also a large hardbound tome with books in a board game section. There's a box that says Wirral. That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition mega setting supplement. So
Wonderful board games, sir. Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. Friends are technically like... For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. Lousy auras there. No, I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they...
These shelves are overburdened. A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective books.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders. Even you're a police officer, apparently. You should...
Crime fiction. These books greatly overstate. What's more, not a single mention of all the stress this work creates. You see, Dick Mullen on the job. Get me Mullen. The stalwart A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of Dick Mullen. Oh no, Turns out he faked it to solve. Yes, there's also the dame who did it. Farewell, my Mullen. Fake tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, after all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine. A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic, Hard. Could it be the motifs of unstable identities? Then this is the book for you. The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of...
I would say... the greatest... The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine, perhaps for a layman,
Do her words seem vague and abstract to you?
Certainly. It's prudent for a person to...
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. Browsing through all the books with all their names, suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. High-Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest. Next to Irv's life story, you see, next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in...
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are...
Several maps have been attacked. The maps look old, and this large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small Ozon, Laurentide, disintegrating into meth. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosigns and azimuths, all pointing in connections to other worlds. You have little idea what they are. Perhaps they are God. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered. To the east, Hudon. It's so small you can't even see it on the...
I'm sorry, officer. The map of... They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90... That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist loop from when some design studio people tried to...
The place does not look like a...
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going.
It's not really a map. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You peek at the storekeep, waiting for her to be destroyed. You're now the proud owner of a map of... This bookstore is not strictly amidst the various books. These three things. The point of the book, it serves platitudes, while also telling wholeness. When it's up to your mind, the book features chapters on topics such as, there's even a chapter on the ancient Serais.
Sir, please, I can't have you end up, like, opening a...
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring you see as...
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books.
She speaks almost as if... Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. You see some kind of charm, an irregular... This is a traditional Seminese ward. Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, just as you're about to...
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the parapsychologically speaking. We're done if you decide to open them.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there.
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with... Thank you. Let's...
Talking is always good. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before...
Welcome to crime. Be welcome. And please take responsibility for the energy. I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. I already told you. It's just let it go, officer.
She recites it like it's a poem. She's so tense, it's a miracle she hasn't snapped in half yet.
I'm not tense. I'm just... Okay, fine. It's just... Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you...
Host of hosts, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the curse.
It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail.
Wow. Void rage.
The curse is so much worse. It's the curse of financial distress. Everyone knows that all the previous companies in this building have sooner or later... There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since... Yes, I've contacted the wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against... Oh, this! No, it's a special... There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example.
Desert pygmy shamans. That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe a group of people.
Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with...
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective.
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off. Wonderful! Did you talk? Great! On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled, my precious... Her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening. Good, sir. What does a young child do?
Such criminal behavior would not happen in more developed countries.
Those countries will realize they've raised a lady.
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here.
Mind your own business, sir.
Denial is the way she copes with criticism.
God, I've told her not to do that. It's disgusting. And I told she can if she has enough will.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on her.
She stands stiff. She's looking for one. But there simply aren't any good...
Oh, no. Hold on. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this... She's been too busy helping me here. I assure you, I of all people...
And hell freezes over.
Yes. My husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. It's a proper place to live. Most of the buildings are empty. He made the initial investment.
Super silent. Almost inaudibly so.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
A glimmer of sadness blinks through the well-crafted exterior.
We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand.
The woman looks aloof. Her features...
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Everything is on the shelves. Take a look.
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved. Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen Charlotte. You're no para-detective. You look nothing like one.
You look like one. The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook.
How do you know all this?
Here we go.
You're part Simonese. Owe it me, but I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you... Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't...
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman. A witch, probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the... Yes, that chimney is part of the building. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go... Oh, and please...
What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared. You see a set of tattered curtains. You see a dimly lit...
Oh!
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily...
Detective, you're the one...
Barbell lie. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
Conjuring up an inhuman amount of strength, you raise the barbell up in the air. Your biceps tremble, but you're a savage. A warm wave.
Good technique.
You're alive and well. Yes, yes.
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
I knew it. But what else did you find?
You don't have anything of substance to tell her until you found that entity of hers.
What is this place? Yes, but no one... I doubt the electricity still works.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of... An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Yes, because it's no need to look for a supernatural explanation.
The worn map features the patch. Your finger moves through the... Finally, coming to a halt.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube.
A radio computer. Just sitting here.
What he means is that these things cost. This is the Ream Civic radio computer. Model RC.
We have one of these down at the station, but I never read.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its It's empty, like a beehive.
This is where the memory should go.
Nothing. Something's missing. Nothing happens. Your flashlight slides over. Some of the writing has faded with age. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures, translucent. You should adopt one of those Welkins as your... But one of the Welkins, towering among its Vara Hamira, a high Welkin, the Haldor, the Twarg, the humans.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for game. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Political commentary. Just look at those details.
The photo collage depicts barren, entire ocean. You see primitive oil rigs built, albeit dark and cold. This, a pinned postcard reads, "This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic word. It looks a bit like an mini-me stands for a mini-meeting. As time goes on,
looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left. The handwriting is only partly legible, but the full text reads, "Heat death of the universe."
Yes?
A thick layer of coal.
Looks like it. Looks no one has used it in ages. No signs of any.
It's dark and grimy here. In the dark, the echo is so prominent.
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs. You're right.
Always has to be the skeptic. A lush layer. Maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave a cave painting. A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
Looks like it. Looks no one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
Something breaks loose in you.
Hello? Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you.
You hear a low rumble upstairs.
After you, officer.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. There is, yes. And there also appears to be something.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but it means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads off into the darkness, and the black one an electric sizzle. The room is slightly quietened, somewhere in the dark. A giant electrical mammal. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box, something close to you.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current, happy and... A thick layer of coal dust covers the... You see a terrifying ice bit. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the ant. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand...
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. Let's take a look inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the...
You've acquired an interactable item.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. What an unfortunate mark. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be... The note is written.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's... Someone has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived.
Someone who owns a radio computer?
Which is to say...
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory.
It's like the production schedule.
Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory, even if he doesn't know what to do with... I don't know.
Didn't you see one right next to the breaker? The bear's eyes are still glowing, a friendly. The paper still smells of... Tiles on the cube are still... Nothing. Something's missing. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the static gets louder.
Good afternoon. Doctors, please repeat. Is this the production sheet? The filament you have inserted? Yes. Is that the production? Good.
Password. Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
Received.
Don't worry.
Fortress accident. Is there any fortress accident? Is one moment fortress accident?
That's not bad.
Any other questions? Yes, I am.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
I work as a repeater. As for now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Your flashlight slides over and some of the writing has faded. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint. It looks a bit like mini-me stands for a mini-meeting. It's part as time goes on. The numbers in the...
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the handwriting is only partly legible. But the full text reads, He... Tiles on the cube are... The speaker comes...
Good afternoon. First, please repeat. Good. Please repeat the password. No.
A hint system is...
Still no. I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy.
I'm afraid we are not doing that.
Now, can you please proceed?
Don't worry.
Fortress accident. Is there? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. This old fireplace, the whole thing resembles Cadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic. History classes, students with their textbooks open. Study of history classes, radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations. All they must have had massive air width. These things don't come. Someone a conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through whoever decides to call in to a call-in station. A list of names under the stations suggests there's no way a little basement studio working.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. Exactly. This schedule.
Nothing. It's just... This orange machine is buzzing like an... You slip your fingers under the frozen lid. No. If you want to try again...
Equip the pry bar by...
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. The ice squeaks beneath them. You see the...
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I have no idea, officer. These ice cream...
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Somewhere in the dark. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quiet. Somewhere in the dark. A giant electrical... This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream. The bear's eyes are still glowing red. What?
Good question, I know. What is even worse?
The fridge buzzes with energy. Two cables are plugged into an electric sizzle. The room is slightly. The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice in. Tiles on the cube are still like a smooth draw. The speaker comes.
Good afternoon. Please repeat. Good. Please repeat.
Don't worry.
Votre accident. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube. The filament slides out of its glow.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, that is the question.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine...
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to... Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was...
Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people.
Not to my knowledge.
Not in
But I don't think anyone has it. Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like...
Super cool. Someone should...
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... Yes, especially in here. Okay, let's keep moving.
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? So what kind...
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should
Yes, Amelie is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to act. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your
role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident.
Very good. My rate is 10 real. Take a look around and see if there's any...
It almost looks as if the stones and dice, no falsehoods are present.
How did I become one? It was a business. Some of my friends were role players. But not especially. I like working with
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on...
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. What do you mean by cursed? Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7... Great, see you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else? Nothing really.
The lieutenant looks at it.
Your window looks directly onto the court.
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have... Well, there's always something going on. During daytime, there are usually...
She's heard of the murder.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday. I might have, but in...
It's light here, but...
It's really hard to make anything up. It's an odd profession. Making dice...
She not.
Anything else, officer? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here...
Creative.
When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
More or less. Are you interested in...
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't
a bit of It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet. It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemideps, a kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had... Kuno. Who's Kuno? Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him. I think it would take more than a gym. It didn't.
It's not really.
Eventually, the coalition... Oh, this one's a mess. Turns out, the business was actually set up at...
What's this?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the whole... It's a Sub-Rosa radio station that...
Nothing changes in her...
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed.
Good luck with that. It's not... You mean Mr. Fabro? Anything else? There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. The atelier produced... And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists, and, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in Kyton from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before... Actually, insects do have brains, but yes.
As she shifts around...
Anything else? They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from... Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think the usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all...
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but I have no idea why...
They were just... Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No. Wait. Forget it.
Fortress Accident. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about...
That's understandable.
They certainly took the usual... Well, I did hear them talking. They seemed to believe...
She sounds almost mocking when she says...
Yes, but when the money started to run out, in the end they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic. And so it's producing something extraordinary. Anything else? Oh boy, the fabled revel... The place was owned by two guys.
What were the other?
There was really just one. And it involved... And by man the booth, I mean slumped behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing. Yeah, some people spend their whole lives chasing as if they didn't already... The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice... Eventually, Ravishell Ice City lost the price war to its rival. Glass A 5000. Glass... He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said...
Sounds cool.
It's an imaginary by telling you to do more drugs, mostly. Do you? Well, good luck anyway. Now you know the story of the fallen knight.
Little sparkling.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? Oh, right. I hope you didn't. I think none of those...
The doorbell with the empty name card.
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless. You could say so. Both houses were built...
If the Whirling is part of the same building...
Right. It used to be a gaming... My advice... Don't base your business on a...
Agreed. Pinball is the word.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a woman? Tricentennial Electric. It used to be a major electric company.
It was too real to be just a prank. Whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit that it was a harmless prank.
Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No, sir. Sure, I'm listening. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work. Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else? I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. It's just capitalism. We only play Sans, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow? Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling no...
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
What, so the curse only affects people with poor work ethics? What you're describing isn't a curse. Exactly. Truth is all, but I'm glad we got this sorted.
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see.
I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit.
You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here.
Excuse me, what are you...
Officer!
Undressing in a...
Miss, I apologize.
That doesn't really excuse it, does it?
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be tea. Okay, but please, only a few Yes, the simonees are very crafty.
The woman looks aloof.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need... I don't understand. If it's not her...
The narrative she's built herself. She's squeezing on the pendant. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
Wait, what? The entire economic system is cursed? Cleansed? I understand what's going on here. It's okay. Thank you for nothing. Please, do buy some...
There was never any other way.
I am sorry we had to disappoint.
I'm sorry, sir.
Out of the rain and into the gutter.
Math. It's... Oh, I found something while you were... I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city I'm... Just what Dick Mullen would ask. Yes, just like... Right, I have to get back to my homework now. Before Mum notices.
You have absolutely no idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something you heard again.